Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Thursday, April 24th, 2025. Now, we're obviously covering the Southern District quite closely in the Menendez imbroglio case, just as Bob Menendez himself asked for a fast ruling on his bail pending appeal so that he can appeal it to the Second Circuit before he actually has to check into the clink to begin his 11-year stint. Now, Wael Hana, the man who, according to two juries now, bribed through Nadine, then Senator Menendez, to not only back up his halal monopoly, but for the weaponizing and the arming of Egypt. So those are both pending. I'm expecting a ruling on that imminently. But what we were doing yesterday for at least most of the afternoon was covering the Harvey Weinstein retrial in New York State Court. And we're heading there now, actually. Yesterday, actually, was just a single witness. He went on at some length. His name was Stefan Stearns. He was an assistant to Harvey back in 2006. Took him from his Crosby Street penthouse loft to the Mercer Hotel. There was some dispute whether, in fact, it was the Soho Grand, which is not far from here on Grand Street, just up the Bowery, which is right behind me there. But it was the Mercer Hotel, and one of the 3 sexual assaults, at least, that are going to be presented in this case. In the first case, there were many more presented, and that was, in fact, what led to the reversal on appeals, that they allowed in testimony of non-charged conduct. So this time they're going to keep it a lot tighter, they say, but it's also going to be an extremely long trial. At the end of yesterday's day, they had a witness in the warming up in the bullpen, so to speak, but there wasn't really time for more than 20 minutes, and so the judge said she can return in 2 weeks. So that trial is going to go long, but we're going strong, at least at the beginning, to get a kind of a flavor of how it plays out the second time. Some of the coverage was that, the first time around was like huge, almost like Mangione, which will be tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be covering the Luigi Mangione arraignment on federal court on death penalty charges, and there's going to be a big crowd. In fact, yesterday I was in 40 Foley Square, and they'd already started setting up ropes for the crowds on the first floor, etc. Anyway, so we should actually get into witnesses other than his aide, Mr. Stearns, and that should be of some interest. Now, the UN, they've been dodging, they've been bobbing and weaving, trying to not have the money cut, despite their incompetence and alliance with terrorist attacks in some instances, and censorship of the press. Guterres will be in Rome for the funeral of the Pope, and so will be Trump, but also Marco Rubio. So there's some talk that he's finally, after these 100 days, going to have a sit-down. Now, hopefully the sit-down will involve cleaning up the UN and not simply using it as a sort of fig leaf or proxy for multilateralism. But we'll see. We'll be covering it. Inner City Press, we're on the case.